Chapter 12, New Products and Innovation is what we're going to cover off on today. So come with me. Innovation and value. At the core of all of marketing, outside of the fact that it's data behind the scenes, what we choose and what we must provide and always create is value. So value is at the core of everything we look at, but in addition to value, how we constantly innovate and provide the latest and the greatest and ensure from a marketplace as well as a competitive stance that we are providing relevant information and also looking and understanding where brands need to go and what is the next. So where are pipelines in terms of companies? Think of pharmaceutical companies, think of all the pipeline products that they may have coming down the line, or other companies, whether it's Apple and their latest iPhone coming out, or Google and the latest update. All of these are constantly innovations that a company brings forth to you. So kind of looking at it, why do firms create new products? Changing customer needs, market saturation. When you've saturated overall, and think about the first telephone, the first Hokey t-shirt. After it was saturated, the next person who was going to create and sell Hokey t-shirts had to do something a little bit different to have a unique selling proposition if the whole market was saturated with the overall core products. A firm must diversify their products in order to be truly innovative, and consider the fact of Coca-Cola as well as Pepsi. Coca-Cola for the longest time has had a variety of the top selling sodas, Coke as well as Diet Coke, whereas Pepsi may not be up there as much and it may be number 3, but Pepsi also has a very diversified portfolio considering all their snacks and cookies and other initial partnerships. So consider that in terms of diversification and the importance for companies as they look at their brands to make sure that as they innovate, they ensure that they are always meeting the current needs of the marketplace, looking from the competitive standpoint, and as well diversifying to ensure that their brands aren't at a perspective of risk. Also looking at fashion cycles, depending on products and what offers. Think of all the different trends and how they affect different purchases along the years. And also obviously overall business relationships. So these are all key aspects in terms of why do firms look to create new products. Diffusion of innovation, if we really consider it, in the early part, everyone always wants to say the earliest people that actually purchase a product are early adopters, when in fact, it's actually the innovators, and they're the smallest percent. 2.5%. So think about when the iPhone first came out. The iPhone came out and who was standing online, who was really excited? It was actually the innovators. Innovators will take a chance with a product. They will understand that it's new to the marketplace, that it may not have all the kinks worked out, but they want to be the first to have the product so they can really test it out and really have that street cred to really discuss their experiences of it. Those are also people that marketers look to in terms of committees or focus groups to really understand their overall feedback on products and how well things are designed. So kind of considering it, looking at the diffusion of innovation, what's the relative advantage? So when you're considering that in terms of the overall innovation and how it really aligns, so when you have a new product coming out and you're trying to reach whether it's the innovators, early adopters, the core, the laggards, or beyond, what do you really need to look at? So what's the advantage of this new product, this new innovation? How is it compatible with what current marketplace consumers are doing, what they're expecting, what they're needing? Looking at it from an overall observation aspect, great opportunity to really observe the marketplace, see what products or how well they're doing or not. Many times it often says Apple doesn't do a lot of market research. They put a product out into the market, let the consumers test it out and let them know what the issues are. Whereas Google will wait and wait and wait until the product is perfect. A lot of people cite the example of Google Plus coming out so late when so many other communities have already been built. Should Google have gone out earlier? The product might not have been perfect, but they would have been out in the market and a little bit more relevant, a little bit quicker for them. And then complexity and trial and error of all these products. Marketers are always looking to do this. Even when you have a brand launch, you'll oftentimes do a beta test. We might do a beta test in small pockets of the world. Paducah, Kentucky might be one of the locations just to see how it is with middle of America and how this product looks, how the packaging works, if there's any issues or challenges. Marketers constantly are doing research, especially with new products, whether it's initial ideation to find out about them or marketplace or competitive place insights, and then when the product actually hits the market, meeting with consumers, doing ethnographic research, understanding how they're utilizing products or what needs they may have. So how do they develop new products? Ideation, it starts with it. Viable new product ideas. Think of the latest products. Think of ones that we've seen for so long. Which ones do we take have we just taken into context and really have never looked at a different way? The taxi cab industry. Think about taxi cab dispatch. Everyone looked at it the same way for years. And someone flipped the model and really had the customer user experience and said, if I could do this easier, what would I do? I would have everything streamlined through my mobile. I would have recommended drivers. I would have everything so you can request a car, and it's a variety of cars all reaching you. It flipped the entire model, and there was born Uber. Hotels. Everyone took it at face value. Hotels. Reserving rooms, staying, the normal procedure that we've all gone through. Someone turned it around and said, what if homes could be it? What if actually Airbnb, bed and breakfast it stood for, and what if people could actually rent their homes similar to an Amazon, have ratings, have recommendations, and truly expand the hotel industry market? That's where Airbnb came in, and that's what they did. So ideation, concept testing, testing the product among it, testing of consumers, testing it against competitive, qualitative, quantitative research, as we have said in the past. Development of prototypes. What does the product look like? Trademark, research, testing, actual products in a few test markets, as we have said. Product launch, full-scale commercialization of the product, or is it a beta test? Consider some products that went in full-scale launch. Some of you may be too young to remember, but there was a product back in the day called the New Coke. They went into full-scale promotion, commercialization, and that product took a large dive. Similar as well, Tropicana, when they revised their packaging and went through a new one, they went through full-scale commercialization only to have to return back. And evaluation of results. As you'll see in this flow, the flow is pretty consistent within all marketing in terms of the idea, the overall need, going through trial, research, then testing it, and then overall evaluation. Idea generation, internal research and development, research and development consortiums, licensing departments, brainstorming sessions, outsourcing, giving it to other people. Right now, we're involved in a new campaign for Virginia Tech. We've outsourced it to a variety of different firms. We're waiting for them to come back with their pitches and their ideas so we can select which firm is going to really help us create the new campaign. Ideas come from all over. Competitive products, what's your competitors doing? Can you do something similar? Point of parity, but can you have a differentiation, a point of differentiation in your new offering? And customer input, of course, and always. So, next big ideas, concept testing. Michael Jordan's next big ideas for sneakers. So take a look at this little YouTube video and you'll see concept is an overall brief description of the product. Goes into whether or not it can go forward, and by including consumers, they'll give you that feedback, and also triggers in the marketing process and overall analyzing results. So this is a little concept testing with our friend Michael Jordan for you to take a look at this video below. Development, prototype, alpha testing, beta testing. Market testing. You've got pre-market tests, customers exposed, determining it. It could be a subject matter. It could be talking about how often people clean and what they utilize, whether they use rags or whether they use paper towels. Think of Kleenex. Think of Kleenex when they launched into more of larger forms for larger, to create more of a paper towel type of concept. Did that work? Did it not? A lot of times you don't see a lot of those Kleenexes merely for tissues. Were they able to expand their brand into the paper towel segment? Some markets within the world actually have those products, some do not, depending on markets. There's no clear winner, but some markets actually have adopted that product. So customers exposed, customers surveyed, really understanding anything pre-market before you bring the product to market, before you do any prototype, but really kind of doing some qualitative, and then the firm deciding whether they should move forward with the new product or not. And then test marketing, the mini product launch. Our philosophy within marketing is crawl, walk, run, fly. So that mini test market is going to be critical. More expensive than pre-market, and clearly market demand is estimated. So you're understanding what the demand is, and you can have the supply ready for that. Another little video, or actually an article, and some of you may find this surprising, but McDonald's last year was looking at a variety of different burgers, and they actually came out with a silver burger as well as other colors. So see what happens when a large-scale fast food company comes out with different color products, and how consumers take that and how it can go viral online. Product launch, consider this. Kellogg's Drink and Crunch portable cereals, great idea. An inner cup containing the the cereal and the outer cup contains the milk all in one. Great for kids on the go. Great for anyone on the go that wanted the cereal with the milk. Minute Maid Premium Heartwise Orange Juice. Each 8-ounce serving contains 1 gram of plain sterols that can reduce cholesterol levels. Once again, another product in terms of that was launched into it. Everyone knows the core Minute Maid, but how did the packaging help to identify this new innovative piece that really differentiated it and really helped with overall cholesterol? Where would this be targeted? Does this brand fit within the family of brands, but how is this differentiated based on the value it brings to the consumer? And another example, Aquafresh. The cap of the toothpaste contains floss. Another innovation. Seems pretty smart. Most of the time, most people, mouthwash, floss, toothpaste, all the same thing. What else could they have? Maybe Aquafresh on the other side could have a pull out and have a toothbrush. So there you have the toothbrush, you have the floss, and then you actually have the toothpaste, all in one product to take on the go. Might be great for travelers. New product marketing mix. So consider it. We have our P's, promotion, our price, and our place, which are always, so we've got 4 P's, which are product, promotion, price, and place. But remember, save model, solution. How are we providing a solution to the consumer? Access, where are they accessing it? Value, what type of value does this provide? And education, are we educating them about the value that this new product provides? Always cross over your 4 P's and your save model. And evaluation, satisfaction, customer acceptance, sales. A lot of these are assist you in terms of overall evaluation of how the product was received in the marketplace and if it was a successful launch. But remember, as a brand marketer, 24/7, 365. You never know when that competitor is going to try to steal some market share. Remember the product life cycle. Remember the key pieces in terms of introduction. And you can see in terms of the product life cycle and the costs that we put behind it from a marketing perspective. Introduction, lots of cost, lots of sales, lots of marketing, lots of pieces behind it in terms of resources and sales spiking. So depending on your ebb and flow and whether you're in the introduction, growth, maturity, or decline, that's going to determine how much resources and funding you put behind it, as well as the impact of overall sales. If it is a market leader and it's continuing and there is no decline, they'll constantly be supported, such as a core Coca-Cola product, versus something that might be on decline. Maybe it's an old technology that was great at first and then went down. So you may not want to put funding and dollars behind that when you know there's a new innovation coming out through your pipeline. And stages, so this kind of gives you a little quadrant of all the information in terms of whether you're introduction, growth, maturity, or decline, and where sales, profits, type of consumers, and competitors fit in. So I want you to really kind of take a look at this to get a really good snapshot idea of how a marketer approaches it based on where the product is in the life cycle. And a couple of different couple of models in terms of life cycles, but caveats. Bell-shaped, but many take many shapes. Bell-shaped is not the only one. There's ups, there's downs. So depending on the product, depending on the industry, depending on the category, depending on competitive nature, marketplace, all of this comes into play. And then challenging to know precisely the stage of the product life, unless it's introductory stage, but sometimes you may look at a brand and not know really where they are, and then you may have to do some more history. That's chapter 12, new product and decisions. I'll look forward to seeing you next time for our next lecture. Go get them.